Do they? I wanted to ask you, do the SPFs in foundations, are they as effective as putting on a plain SPF?
No, it's going to be less effective because you're going to use less product. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, maybe to get an SPF 15, it might be tested for you to use maybe, I don't know, like a 50p piece size, but you might only use a 5p piece size. So
Okay.
it's going to be slightly less effective, but it depends how much you use. Again, it's very difficult to say, isn't it? Because you just don't
People
know.
also think that by layer, I've got a moisturiser that's got an SPF of 30 and I've got a foundation that's got an SPF of 15. So I'm wearing SPF 45.
Is that,
No, you're not.
It
That
doesn't work like
It
that
actually
at all.
dilutes it
Lessens
down.
it.
does it really? Okay, I must admit, I have actually thought that before.
Yeah, no, that
Most
doesn't work.
people do think
Because
that.
you have, like, say you've got one particle of SPF. God, this is really boring now. I'm going to really nerd out on you.
No, be a nerd.
Okay,
We like
so
nerds.
you get one part of SPF with, I don't know, 20 parts of moisturiser, and then on your foundation you get one part of SPF with 20 parts of foundation. Then all of a sudden you've got 40 parts
with 2.
of moisture with only 2 SPF parts. Do
Fine.
you see what I mean?
There's
So
a- it's
it
really-
kind of
it's really
dilutes
nerdy,
even
but-
more.
So basically, don't think that you're mixing a 30
No,
or 15 and getting
because it won't
45.
happen.
You're probably getting more like a 20.
Yeah, exactly.
You see?
Well done. We
Thank you. I
explained
feel,
it right.
Yeah,
it's
it
like
kinda
a
made
maths
sense.
class. It's brilliant. I wish maths classes had been about beauty as well. That would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Now this is a very interesting one. When getting older, this is from Alison, and she wants to know, should you use less makeup or more makeup as you get older?
You can use more makeup and strategically place it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
But-
I just think personally, there's nothing worse than a woman feeling that because she's got wrinkles, she needs to use loads of foundation because often
Yeah.
it clings to the wrinkles.
Depends on the foundation you choose. I mean, you want to look carefully, make sure that you're looking to get, you know, like something like Lift and Illuminate is going to be a great foundation because that's for that skin type. Or Chanel Vita Lumiere or Lift Lumiere is also great for...
It's also about product placement. You know, don't try, if you're same as what I was saying before, if you do have the odd fine line around the eyes, don't put a really heavy foundation there. Use it where you want to use it, and then use something much more moisturising or softer around those areas, and try to go for products that are slightly more glowing.
Okay.
Because if you put powder on to fine lines, it's just going to make them stand out even more. You want to smooth them out by using something that's more cream
Yeah,
based,
I mean,
maybe.
the facts are you can't conceal lines. You can't conceal them. So the less product you have there, the better, because if you put a lot of product there, it's just going to crease into lines and it's going to highlight the area.
In fact, I mean, I personally think women should celebrate their wrinkles, and it's quite annoying that we're in a society where people are ashamed and want to cover them up. Laughter lines are great. you know.
Absolutely.
Shows you've enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Well, that's it, isn't it? And what about I know we're kind of mainly talking about foundations here, but you know, eyeshadows, for example. Do you think when you're older you should go more natural on the eyes and like have big eyes, or maybe kind of really go for it, go smoky, and or does it just depend on the woman?
I think it depends on the woman. It depends on the eye shape. Also, I would think more about textures personally. Wouldn't go for anything too shimmery that's going to enhance any fine lines. But I would never want to say to a woman, you're wearing far too much. If she feels confident, then that's the main thing, is the confidence. And it's all about you at the end of the day. We put the makeup on, hopefully, for ourselves to make us feel good. So
I think, it depends on the woman's personality a lot, doesn't it? Like, we've got a friend who wears quite a lot of makeup, but it looks incredible on her because she's so vivacious. And,
yeah.
you know, so it suits her perfectly.
You'd think something was wrong if she
Yeah,
didn't. You'd be like, are you all
absolutely.
right? What's happened?
Yeah.
She just looks eye-catching and amazing because she wants to wear more makeup, and
Yeah.
I love that.
Do you know who I think has been such a big inspiration is Helen Mirren at the
Absolutely.
Baptist. Pink hair.
Just love Helen
amazing
Mirren.
was that?
She
We
always
love
looks
her.
incredible.
She's
Love
and
her.
she wears a fair amount of makeup.
Yeah,
but
she
does
She
does
does it
well.
so well.
It is beautifully blended, and I do think that blending is the key as you get older. You know, if you can wear dark eyeshadows, as long as you blend them, it's going to look really stylish and classy, I think.
I thought she looked amazing. She
Oh, yeah,
always
she does,
does,
she
every
does.
single time.
Was it just me, or did you think I want to dye my hair pink just for 1 minute?
Just
No, I
want to
didn't
be
think
Helen
it.
Mirren. I think she's fabulous.
I was very,
I
very
do love her.
tempted. The lovely Lisa's been in touch, and she's just asking about laughter lines around her eyes. So we were talking about that. She says she's a bit nervous about using eye makeup, which may settle in and exaggerate them. What sort of product should she be going for? So that's kind of what we've covered, but particularly the laughter lines. What do you think?
Sort of products, anything that's slightly more cream-based.
Fine.
So yeah, to kind of diffuse them a little bit more.
The most youthful looking skin is the most moisturised and rejuvenated skin. So just be looking for radiance boosting foundations and highlighters and things like that, but avoiding putting it on the lines.
So actually just literally leave the lines alone.
Leave them alone, put like a very light concealer over the area so everything's uniform, and then concentrate on making a nicely sculpted cheek to draw the attention away from the lines. But, chances are nobody else notices it apart from you anyway.
Yeah. I always trust people with laughter lines, I must say.
Absolutely.
Right, Sally, the lovely Sally's been in touch. We have a question from Sally about how to make the transition from day to night easily. So you're at work, you're in a rush. What do you do?
You can take a concealer with you, touch up. A great product is like a powder compact foundation. So if you've already got foundation on, it's looking a bit worn out by the end of the day, pop that on, take a black liner with you, jazz up a little bit more black liner, more mascara always, and then put a bit more of pop of colour on the lips. Shouldn't take long, should be like only a few minutes to snazz up your makeup but still not look too overdone.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what I do is by the end of the day my foundation's kind of worn away quite a bit, so I just spritz my face with like a moisturising mist and whack over a bit more foundation. Just to kind
What kind of, a bit like, you can get those like the Evian bottles.
Yeah, like that, but you can get moisturising mist ones. Loads of brands do them. It's just like a spray moisture and then straight over the top.
Yeah.
And it's making almost a clean base to start again.
Yeah.
Perfect. I like that a lot. I sometimes find if I'm going out and I've been at work all day, my makeup actually looks better because it's a little bit smudged under the eyes.
I love that look.
Worn in makeup.
I love that look more.
Imperfect, perfect.
I like that. Right, where are we? Natasha, she's a girl after my own heart. How do you stop mascara running under your eyes? She says she always has black under her eyes at some point in the day, no matter what she does. And I'm sure if you look, there's probably
we were discussing this earlier, weren't we? You can get great little tiny under eye mascara ones now which stay put much better. Also make sure you're powdering under your eyes. You don't have to powder your laughter lines. You can keep it very close with a small brush just under the eyes where it runs down. And if it is black liner, have a look into the liner that you're using and check it's not one that really moves a lot, because you can get some that stay put and don't move.
The coals move around so much, don't they, that it's kind of very, very hard to keep them in place. So something like a gel eyeliner can work a lot better.
Could you actually use a gel on your waterline?
Yeah.
Could you? I never thought that. Or like a liquid liner or something like that.
Oh, I probably wouldn't use a liquid liner because I've got a feeling that wouldn't stay put.
I don't think it would stick to the eye. But a gel liner is absolutely fine. That's what I would always use. If I'm doing a cat flick on the top of the eyes and I want the underneath stayed put, I will use that on the top waterline so it doesn't transfer down.
Okay. That's really good advice. Question just come in, and this is from... I don't know. This is from Elizabeth, and she says she's going to be 42 soon, and she wants to know for her wedding. She's getting married. Congratulations! What amount of makeup should she wear? And people always say go dramatic for the pictures. Also, she wears glasses. So how can she get her eyes to pop, but whilst wearing her glasses?
Okay, well, it depends on your glasses lenses, doesn't it? Really, because it depends. Sometimes. I don't wear glasses, so I'm probably going to get this wrong. But some lenses make your eyes appear bigger, and some make your eyes appear smaller. Depends if you're long-sighted or short-sighted. So first you've got to figure that out. Obviously, if it makes your eyes appear bigger, then you don't want to go crazy with the makeup. But if it makes your eyes appear smaller, you're going to want to put a bit more on. But if it is your wedding, I would suggest getting a makeup artist to help you. Yeah. What better time to shell out a little bit of money?
And I would also say there's always been this myth that makeup doesn't photo very well, so put more on. It's not like that anymore. Maybe 20 years ago you had to put more on so it would stay. It's not like that anymore. Most makeup photographs beautifully with minimal. So don't think, oh my God, I'm getting married, I'm going to put loads on and I'm going to feel caked, because you will feel caked and you'll look caked in the photos as well. So actually, don't change it too much.
Okay.
But if you are going to do your own makeup, do a test run beforehand and take a picture with a flash camera so that you can see if your foundation is going to flash back.
Actually, this little thing probably is really useful because I remember before my wedding, the Match Made service wasn't around and I had such trouble finding the right foundation. I literally remember makeup artists kind of combining loads and I thought they're so expensive. So I suppose also if you're getting married, go and have the Match Made service.
Definitely. And then they'll be able to advise you on which foundation to go with as well. And also, you know, you don't really want to go over an SPF of 15 because it will flash back. Take a camera with you, take a photo of it after it's been done and utilise the service. You know, you want to see what it looks like. And
you could get your whole makeup done while you're there.
Exactly.
Well, actually, because I'm sure the person who does the Match Made service can then say, right, now we've found your foundation, let's talk about your eyeshadow and everything like that. That's
absolutely.
It's a really good tip, I guess, if you're doing your own makeup for your wedding, which a lot of people do because it's so expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Cool. Right. What else have we got coming in? Oh, this is a good one. So, a lot of our listeners are very busy, and it's that whole thing of having, you know, taking the kids to school, having to get ready for work, makeup on the go. What are your top tips for doing makeup when you're in a real rush? You've got 5 minutes. What do you do?
My top tip would be, I would moisturise, but I would do that anyway. I would put some mascara on. I'd put something on my lips and maybe a bit of concealer. Nothing more, because you haven't got time. But if you've got mascara on, people are going to be drawn to your eyes. And if you've got something, if your lips look moisturised, they're going to be drawn to that. And they're probably, to be honest, if you're on the school run, nobody's looking at anyone because they've just got their head down anyway.
I tend to go for 2-in-1 products like tinted moisturisers or BB creams, you know, that are going to do a lot of stuff in one fell swoop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you've got an oily skin, you can use the compact foundations. Easy, done.
Yeah.
Okay, so mascara and a nice quick kind of compact.
Yeah.
And I guess something like this blotting powder, actually, if you're feeling a bit oily.
Yeah.
This was actually blotting powder, again, just going back to my wedding, was my saviour because it was kind of invisible. It was just great during the day. I'd be like, quick.
Did you do your own makeup?
I must admit I didn't. I had a makeup artist, but she very kindly gave me one of these. So she was like, here, this is my present to you. Have this amazing blotting powder.
That's nice,
so
yeah.
throughout the day,
Very
she was
useful.
so nice, actually.
Very useful.
I had my makeup artist by my side the whole time, thankfully.
Was that quite intense?
No, she didn't touch it up once. But that's because she's good, so it stayed put. It stayed put.
I think this is very Boots specific. It says, what's the difference between the 7 types of foundations that are offered, and why do you need those different types? So we have covered that as you get older, you obviously need the kind of, which one is it? The illuminating one.
Yeah,
so,
or restore and renew. I don't think everybody will need every single type of foundation here, but obviously if you've got an oily skin, then Beautifully Matte is going to make perfect sense for you. And if you've got a dry skin like I have, Instant Radiance, you know, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? I mean, it says exactly on it. So you can just go in and check the foundations out and you'd be able to know pretty much which one's perfect for you. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Cool. And Deborah says she's got really pale skin. And again, this is about the number 7 range. Is there a shade in particular that would suit? Because when you're pale, because I suppose you have your Match Made service, but I am quite pale and I always get worried that I'm going to look even more pale by having a pale foundation. But
you put the colour back in afterwards.
Fine, okay.
So match exactly as the device will do for you. Match exactly to your skin tone, or one up or one down, depending. And by one up or one down, it is the most minute change. And then put the colour back in afterwards. Don't be afraid to feel like, oh God, I look really ghostly now, because you can add the features and the colour afterwards.
Yeah, I think it's always a big mistake to try and make your face darker. You know, just to give yourself a bit of colour with a foundation in particular. That's what bronzers and blushes and everything else is for.
It can be so tempting though, can't it?
I've seen people do it. I have seen someone do it well once, but it's very rare.
But what I would also say as well is, if you're going to have this service done, the best bit about it is they match you up. You're sitting down, you're relaxed, you get to try it for a little while. The mistake lots of people do is they go into a department store, they match it to their neck, they then go and buy it instantly. They don't let the foundation work into the skin to set. They don't stay there long enough. Some foundations oxidise, which means that as soon as they hit the air, they set darker. By having this done, you're going to be there, you're going to feel comfortable. They're taking off a patch, they're putting it on, you're seeing how it lasts, how it works, and also you're seeing whether it's going to go any darker on you and you can change. I think it's so daunting now to go in and choose your own foundation.
Oh, I hate it.
Well, I think in particular when you go into a department store or a shop, the lighting is often fluorescent.
Yeah.
So what might look like it's the right colour for you in the store won't necessarily be the right colour when you get outside, which is why something like this is very handy, because it literally measures your actual skin tone. You know, there's no
In
light.
any lighting.
In any light. You could do it in the dark and it would match.
You could do it in the dark.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
So, yeah, it's a no-brainer, really, isn't it?
So really go and have that done, chill out for 5 minutes or so.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
just-
Take the weight off and enjoy it. That's what I say.
I like that. It's so nice to chill out as well. Just kind of have a
We're
moment.
always rushing around so much. You know, it shouldn't be that daunting. And you get to chat to one of the girls. Oh, guys,
And
and they're so
nice.
lovely.
Apart from once, and this was with a totally different brand actually. But I remember I'd overplucked my eyebrows, and she was like, "You naughty girl, you've overplucked." And we had this 10-minute debate about whether eyebrows should be thick or thin. It's right.